What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Offside and Out of Bounds. We are going to be covering off the NCAA March Madness tournament. We had extreme success last year. We're back again. We're going to be breaking down the first four. Let's get into it. I'm Adam.
I'm Junior. Let's
go. Okay, Junior, so we're back for March Madness. We had an incredible clip last year. I think we went off at 71 or 72%. We're going to do this again. We're going to be with you guys every step of the way. So please make sure to like, subscribe to our channel and this video. Comment below. Let us know what you think. But please come back to join us because we are going to be following our clip all the way through all these games and all through March Madness. Junior, how do you feel about the upcoming tournament?
When you look at the four that were first out, it was Dayton, SMU, Oklahoma, and Texas A&M. So not massive programs, but pretty, mid-pack programs. And then we see these first four in where we've got a pretty interesting matchup with Rutgers and Notre Dame. And as well as Indiana and Wyoming. The other two games, one of them is going to go up against Arizona, and that's coming out of the Wright State Bryant game.
Yeah.
The other, Texas Southern and Corpus Christi, that's going to go up against Kansas. So cannon fodder to the big dogs of those brackets in the South and the Midwest, I believe.
Yeah.
But, again, it's March. Every year, every March. This goes back to when I was in grade 9, grade 8. That first week of March break, I would spend all day long watching this tournament.
Oh, yeah.
So this is probably, my favorite time of year, my favorite sporting event, my favorite championship out of all.
It's the biggest tournament, right?
The biggest tournament in sports. And the fact that it's all packed in neatly into less than a month is absolutely phenomenal. So, we've got some great first four games to talk about, and then, obviously we'll get into the breaking down each of the brackets and regions, and then kind of give you our picks and show you our brackets, and
yes,
we're going to give you betting tips all the way through. So we're looking to increase our clip to 80-85% on our bets. So again, we're going to give you a parlay at the end of this. I think it's close to about 1,100 on it. So we're going to start off with a bang. Why not get the first four right and ready to go?
Yeah, so these games go off Tuesday and Wednesday of this week, so they start up tomorrow. So let's jump right into it. Let's get into it. So we got Texas A&M, Corpus Christi versus Texas Southern, and this is looking to be a very interesting game. I hadn't seen Texas Southern in a position like this before. What do you think? Just kind of initial thoughts on this before we break down some of the details on it.
Well, we've got two conference champions here. So these are guys that went on a nice little streak during Champ Week and ultimately toppled over, their division or their conference. So Southern beat Alcorn State to win the SWAC. The SWAC beat them by 15, powered by 17-6 from John Walker. The third, A&M won the Southland. They got some upset in them.
Okay.
So A&M Corpus Christi upset the 1 and the 2 in their division, in their conference. And Jalen Jackson had a 13-6 and 5-9, so really well-rounded play. He was beasting. So look at Walker and Jackson to be the two focal points of these offenses.
Okay.
But yeah, so you've got two kind of evenly matched teams. Obviously, when we break the stats down, it's going to show you where the discrepancies are and where you want to bet it. And then we'll kick into the system and spit out what the system's telling us is going to be the eventual winner here.
Let's take a look at the stats. Okay, so ranking, you got Texas Southern 197 on their offensive efficiency. They're 238 in the nation, 26 on the defensive side. Points per game and offensive points per game 65 and 67 respectively. Ken Palm's got them at 188, and then last time they played, they lost 88-43 on the Texas A&M side of things. 241 ranked, 174 in offensive efficiency, defensive efficiency 97. This is an adjustment here. I apologize for the stat here, but it's 71.3 points per game against 69.6 points per game. And Ken Palm's got him at 243.
Yeah, so this is a 3.5 point favorite for Texas Southern.
Okay.
You can find the line moving down to 4 depending on the book you're looking at, and then the total is 136.5. So I mean, it's going to be a close game. In fact, when I look at our system right now, I have a 69-67 victory for Texas Southern.
Okay.
So that total is 136. So that half point could be crucial.
Yeah.
But what I always like to do, because this is in a neutral territory, because the possession arrow is obviously going to favor the team that is sided as home, you add 2 points onto that. So I've got this as 71-67 for Texas Southern. So it will creep over the over on that, but listen, the 3.5 point spread is still super close. System's right on the money with respect to the total. So this is probably best just to hit that Texas Southern money line. I mean, they're going off at a 165, so I mean it's still decent.
Okay, so you're staying away from the over under then.
Well, system's got it right on the money. So
okay. Yep.
Can't go either way.
Fair enough. Okay, so that game goes live Tuesday, March 15th, and that's at 6:40. So let's look at the later game that day. That's going to be Indiana versus Wyoming. That goes 9:10 Tuesday night, March 15th. What do you like about these teams? You know, some initial thoughts?
You know, I used to love betting Wyoming.
Okay.
I don't know. The Cowboys, right? Like you just, I don't know. There's something about them that I like to take them on the money line. But here is a different story.
Okay.
You know, Indiana was rolling in the Big Ten tourney. They upset Michigan, and Juwan Howard's returned from jail basically. And then they followed that up with beating the number 1 seed Illinois. Number one. So you upset Michigan, the number 1 seed. But then, they lost to Iowa, which everyone else in that tournament did too. The one thing about Indiana is they're either hot or they're cold. And they're either hot or cold for not very long stretches of time. So they're a tough team to really kind of hone in on and figure out what they're going to do that night. And then, in the three games in the last 4 days, that's a lot of basketball.
Yeah.
And then you're coming into the biggest games of the year right now, right? So
absolutely.
Wyoming held serve against UNLV. Then they lost to the number 1 seed Boise State in the second round of the Mountain West. But prior to Champ Week, they were losers of 3 of the last 6. So I think they're going to be in tough here against Indiana. But again, don't really know what we're going to get from Indiana here. So when we take a look at the system.
Want to take a look at the stats first?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Hit the stats.
It's okay. No problem. Let's take a look at the stats. So ranked 38, offensive efficiency 132, 43 on the defensive end, 72 points for, 60 against, 36 on the Ken Palm. And then the last time these two met, 99-80 win for Indiana. And then on Wyoming side, the Cowboys got 50 rank, offensive efficiency 63, defensive efficiency 81, points per game 68, points against 66, and Ken Palm's got him at 58.
So again, here, like there's not a whole lot of difference. Wyoming's obviously got a bit more of an efficient offense.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously these are neutral sites, so it's still pretty close. I mean, we got a 36 and a 58 Ken Palm, 38-50, overall rank. But again, when we look at the spreads on this, Indiana's a -4, and I've seen that up to -6 at some books already.
Okay.
And the total in that game is 132.5. So again, it's pretty low. But when I look at the system here, I got this as a 5-point win for Indiana going away, 69-64. So we're hitting that over, and they are covering the 4 right now. So if you like Indiana, don't wait to get them at 6 or 7. Hit them today at 4. or hit them on the money line at a 170. I mean, that's a bit of juice right there. So I'd probably hit them today at that -4 and hit the over on the total.
Okay. All right. Again, that game goes live tomorrow, March 15th, Tuesday. It's 9:10 start. Okay, let's look at Wednesday's game. So moving into Wednesday, we got Bryant, Wright State. Okay, so they're going live 6:40 on Wednesday, March 16th. Maybe just give us some initial thoughts on this team, and then we'll touch on the stats.
Yeah, so again, two champ week winners. Bryant won the NEC, cruised there behind the power of Peter Kiss. Probably should be a big time program, but he's not. And then Charles Pride's been pretty stellar up to this point. Winners of 7 in a row. Face Wright State that won the Horizon as a 4 seed, so they've got some upset in their bucket, and they're holding a 5-game win streak of their own as well. So we've got two teams that are peaking at the right time.
Yep.
But again, you have to look at what's at the end of the yellow brick road here, and it's not an 11-5 matchup or a 12-4. This is a number 1 seed you're going up against.
Yeah.
Arizona. So don't know if the upset's going to be in the bucket for either of these teams when it comes to Arizona, but we're still going to enjoy this game. So let's take a look at the stats. Yes,
let's do that. Okay, so ranking 200 Bryant, 131 efficiency rating, defense rate efficiency rating is 132, 80 points for, 69 against. Ken Palm's got him at 183, so a little bit better ranked, and then they haven't met. So on the other side, Wright State 191, 45th in offense, defense 226, points for 75, and points against 76. And then Ken Palm's got him at 58.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean this game is 3.5 favorite for Wright State. Total was 154.5 on the over. This is a case of two teams that shoot the 3 well. They scored the charity stripe, which is important. Wright State does hold the advantage in terms of overall possessions. So, and I think they're hitting at a clip of about 45% from 2, which is, it's pretty decent. Mm-hmm. But when you look at what our system does, and what our system does is it takes these stats, puts them all together, and then basically predicts the game in terms of what they're going to score from 2, from 3, from the stripe, turnovers, offensive, defensive rebounds, and then taking the offensive, defensive efficiency and kind of weighing everything in there to get a score. This one, we've got a bit of a higher score here. And it's actually for Bryant. So it looks like Peter Kiss and Charles Pratt are gonna pull this out 78-72. That's an upset special. And Bryant is going off on a +150 right now. And unfortunately, that total is not going to peak. So take the under and Bryant.
Okay. All right. Under and Bryant. There you go. Hip. All right. So Bryant, Wright State, that goes 6:40, March 16th, Wednesday. Moving on. This is the big game. This is the one we're excited about. Notre Dame, Rutgers. I mean, this is going to be a big game. This goes Wednesday, March 16th, 9:10. Okay, this is the big game. And initial thoughts here on this matchup, because this is going to be I think it's going to be a bit of a bloodbath.
Notre Dame, the 2nd seed in the ACC. I can't remember, and maybe George Clooney can tell me, the last time that the Fighting Irish were a 2nd-ranked team in the ACC. Because I don't remember when that was, and I'm an Irish fan. They were rolling a bit. They've had a great year, offensively and defensively. But there's a few teams that just get in their crop. And Virginia Tech just littered their way to the ACC championship with just upset after upset. And they were a 7 seed. But it's tough going up against a buzzsaw and a team that's been rolling for a week prior to Champ Week. Again, pretty disappointing spot for a 2 seed to get upset for that first game into it, right? And Rutgers had a similar start to their Big Ten Champ Week, losing directly in an upset to Iowa. So these are both teams that are reeling a bit. When I take a look at where they've been the last little while, Notre Dame is looking win, loss, win, loss, win. So again, they've been kind of hot and cold. And then Rutgers, I mean, the quality of opponent is not the same that Notre Dame has faced. But here, I have to look for the Irish are usually good for one win at least. The winner of this matchup gets Alabama, and Alabama is very upset prone. And I think that the Notre Dame is probably in a better position to do so because Alabama likes to drive the possessions down, slow the game down. Rutgers is very similar. So, I mean, if you look at that game, it's probably a 62 to 52 game, boring basketball. Or at least with the offensive efficiency of Dame, that's going to get the score up. There's going to be a little more run and gun. So I'll look for that to happen. Dame shoots the ball better from three, better from the charity stripe, which is very important tournament time. When we talked about this, we talked about it last year. I've been saying this forever. Look at Champ League. The one thing that these kids, I don't know if they don't want to work on it because the free throws aren't sexy, but scoring when the clock is stopped is the sexiest thing you can do in a basketball game because you're stopping runs.
Getting points without moving time.
Exactly. So in terms of a possession-saving game, you're getting free possessions, free shots, free opportunities to get 3 points because you drove the basket or you shot a contested shot and you grabbed that foul. So teams that do not shoot well from the charity stripe are teams that will not win in tournament time. It's a simple thing.
So, I wanted to bring this up from last year because I know that we were both watching this game as well when they lost to Houston after leading that game and not making it through to the Sweet 16. Is this going to be retribution? I think they have to push through in this game. That's how I feel personally about it. After that loss, being up, losing 63-60 in the final minutes of that game.
But what do they need to do? They need to slow the game down, drive the ball, get to the free throw line,
foul trouble,
take your baskets, increase the spread, put more pressure on the other team to hit those shots, and that's a simple formula, a very, very simple formula. But a lot of teams just don't do it. But
they had beat Clemson.
When I look at the system here, I have
stats real quick first. Let's hit the stats real fast. 77, 171 offense, defense 113, 66-4, 72. 66 points per game. OPP is 72. 74 on the Ken Palm, 61, 69. So they lost to Notre Dame the last meet. Notre Dame 53, 46, 52, 74, 63. Ken Palm 52. Okay, let's hear it. What do you got?
So, I mean, this is the first four in. This is the first team in Notre Dame that we've seen a team that's got offense and defensive efficiency under 100.
Uh-huh.
So that means that they've got a well-balanced game. Put it back up again. So we got 46 on offense, 52 on defense. So those are close numbers. It's a balanced team.
Yep.
So when you look at Rutgers, their efficiency offensively is very high.
Yes.
Ranked. So they're not efficient offensively, but they are efficient, a little more efficient defensively. And that's the one key here is defensive efficiency is come tournament time is a huge important factor. Both of their conferences equal value, equal strength. I think that the ACC's probably got a bit more competition in terms of power one teams. So when you're going to look at the Big Ten versus the ACC, you're probably going to want to take the ACC teams at a bit of a higher clip than you will at the Big Ten. Big Ten, Big 12, very, 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 kind of on an even keel in terms of talent and teams as well. But let's just hit it right now. 73-65, Notre Dame. So it's a 138 total. And let's look at the numbers. Dame is favored by 1, so smash. And the total is 132, so a smash.
Okay.
And I'm going to do it right now. So let's take a look.
Are you submitting?
At the parlay, and I'm going to submit it right now.
Okay. All right, because we're going to follow along with our bets to show you the before, after, and the clip rate at the end, because we were so incredibly well clipped last year at 71 or 72%. I can't remember if it was one or the other. Go back, watch the previous videos if you really want to see. But we were going off last year. This is our tournament, and we are here to cash checks this year.
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
so
we got lucky with Oregon State. They carried us
still
predominantly most of the way. We made most of our money off of Oregon
That's
State.
okay.
We found Oregon
That's
State.
what this
Not
tournament is for.
did. Yeah, not a lot of people found Oregon State. We found them from the beginning.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to pull it up, and you're going to talk about it. All right, here we go.
Okay, so the first is we're going to hit that Notre Dame to cover the spread.
Yeah.
We're going to hit the Notre Dame over. Then we're going to hit Bryant on the money line upset. We're going to hit the under on the Bryant game. Then let's move up to the Indiana-Wyoming. We're going to take Indiana to cover that spread.
All right.
And we're going to hit the over on that. Then Texas Southern, we're going to take them on the money line, and we're not going to touch that total because it's too
close.
It's right on the money. So that's going to give us a plus 98.78. What do you want to put down on it? A 5 spot?
Yeah, sure.
Let's put.
I mean, again, this parlay doesn't. You know, we include the parlays overall, but for our clip, we're going game to game. Our pick for the game.
So I don't know if you can get that. So there we are, the 17 parlay.
Yep.
$5, paying out $498.92.
There we go.
Let's see if we can use the first 4 in to build the clip that we're going to use to spread for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. Love it. Basketball is back, people. It is officially back. This is the time we've been waiting for. I'm excited. I know Junior he's just, I got to hold him back on the wallet. We're going to have to go cashless society for you, Junior. Yeah, this is going to be big. Follow us. We're going to be back either late Wednesday or we're going to try to pump something out before the game start Thursday morning. It's going to be hard. We'll probably be back late Wednesday with our guesstimation of that late game finish. We'll probably go after the Bryant Wright, and so we'll just have Notre Dame Rutgers, which we'll probably follow along a little bit live and then break that down. I think that makes the most sense for us.
Yeah, we're going to give you our breakdowns of each of the regions and who we see going through in that first round of 64.
Yeah.
So we may not have all the teams to provide to you, but again, I think we might be minus 1 16 seed and 1 11 seed. But we're going to give you guys the rundown of each of the regions.
Those guys won't be playing on Thursday anyways, so we're going to be good for that. We'll be back Thursday to give you the next 16 games for Friday's bets. So join in, smash the subscribe, like, comment below, let us know what you want to hear. Let us know if we're off. Let us know if you're betting with us or against us, and we'll keep you prized all along the way. That's a wrap for us. So look out for us on Wednesday. I'm Adam.
I'm Junior. We're gonna see you real soon.